Hey, sis.
Hey. The last episode, I was wearing jeans, and I honestly vowed to never wear jeans on the podcast again.
Really?
I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you told me.
Like, just sitting, and it's just like the buttons and the...
Yeah, I feel it.
I'm
And
done.
we ate too right before.
I'm done with, like, jeans. If the pants have a button, I'm in sweats, leggings, and yoga pants from now on.
I feel it.
On this, I feel like I couldn't even speak because I was just thinking about how constricted I feel.
Yeah, we're chill for this one, for this episode. It's good because Mama cooked today and we ate that
so
yummy
good.
food.
It's called bamia.
Bamia.
Okra stew.
Yes, okra stew. I feel like bamia gets a bad rep. Anytime I see it on TikTok, everybody's like, not everybody, but there's a lot of people like, I don't like bamia.
I mean, like, no kid is gonna like okra stew. I didn't even like it as a kid. That was Baba's favorite, remember?
Yeah, Baba loves okra stew.
I know he does. But like, which child is gonna be like, I love okra?
Yeah.
But now as an adult, I like appreciate it.
Yeah, but I feel like with our food, it's a lot of stews. Like there's the eggplant stew and the split chickpea stew. It's all stews.
It is stews, but like okra is definitely a personal preference. It's like
Yeah.
slimy. Like I get it.
True. I can see that.
It's like eating like a little caterpillar.
Oh, Nas! Oh my God!
It's a
now I'm gonna
caterpillar.
look at it differently.
Doesn't
Why'd
it like
you
eating
say
it like you took a
that?
caterpillar and
Now that you said that, yeah, but like I didn't think about that before.
I forgot what restaurant I was at, but they had fried okra. It was really good.
Fried okra
Nobu.
sounds really good.
No, is it Nobu? I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds amazing though. But now I can't get that out of my head now.
So mom can never make it now.
I guess so. Why did you have to say it?
Dude, and my throat has been hurting. Like,
Oh my gosh, I noticed that since I got here to LA, like my throat, like I keep going like
I know. I think it's because of
Coughing.
the weather change. It's like
Maybe.
cold. Guys, it's freezing right now in LA.
I know, it is so cold.
So cold. And it's like, of course, when my friends came to visit from out of town,
know.
it's like cold.
Poor
It
Paula.
always- I know.
Anytime Paula and Isha visit, it's always cold.
They brought cold to Miami, which doesn't even
That
exist.
never happens. When they landed, I'm like, listen, you guys, this never happens here. It was freezing in Miami. And when did you? Oh, we were there during the winter, but still in the winter, it's jacket weather. But I'm telling you, you could have worn an Eskimo coat at that time.
Okay, now she's being dramatic.
Well, for Miami, you should see people in Miami. When it drops to 70 is like cold to us. I'm going to say us because I'm in the same temperature range now. Everything is cold to me.
I don't mind. I like the weather colder, but like if it's summer, like it's literally summer, there's no reason for it to be cold.
I know.
I'm over it.
I know.
And it's like gloomy.
And you know something is wrong when it's warm in Ohio.
It's-
like
yeah,
when
warmer in
Ohio
Ohio.
is warmer.
It's like 90 in Ohio.
What? Naz and I are literally not competitive. I'm just not a competitive human being.
Right.
Like I've never been competitive my whole life. Like I never think it's that serious. I don't care if I'm number 1 or number 20. I'm the best in my mind.
It's just with comparison. It just doesn't make sense to me because everybody lives such different lives.
Yeah.
Like you don't compare like apples to oranges. Like everything is special in their own way.
Yeah.
And if we all were exactly the same, imagine how the world would look.
I know.
It'd be very boring. And you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. And I know it's harder for some people, but I mean, it's true what they say. Comparison really is the thief of joy.
I don't even
never
think
be happy.
it's just the thief of joy. I think that it hinders your potential.
100%.
I feel that not always, but I think about this comparison. The sun and the moon shine on their own at their right time. And if the moon looked at the sun and was like, oh my God, the sun looks like this. Why is it so bright? Why am I in the dark? Like, the moon couldn't be the moon. Did I get too metaphorical?
No, I like that. And think about the eclipse when they join forces, the magic they make.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, why compare and compete when you can collab?
Exactly.
You
my
know?
gosh, I saw a quote on, I think it was Instagram. I posted it. It said, competing is low vibrational. At the top, we're collaborating.
Literally.
Like, if you see people that are, the top 1%, no one is really competitive. They're all sharing ideas. Whereas people at the bottom are like trying to compete because
climb over people.
Yes, it's from insecurity,
Right.
because they want to compete in order to win, in order to feel better for themselves. But if you think about it, a lot of things are not winning or losing. Like, for example, social media, there's no winning or losing. Everybody shines at their own time. You know what I mean? Like,
And everybody has completely different interests. Everybody has such different backgrounds. Like there's so many variables in everybody's life that shapes you into the adult that you become.
yes.
So how can you ever compare yourself? Like how can you compare yourself to a child that grew up fully in America when you didn't move here until you were 8?
Yeah.
How can I compare myself to, that's something I never understood. Like even you can't even compare yourself with your sibling who grew up the same way technically you did.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's so different. Everybody has what makes them special. And again, like you said, if you put that energy into taking your life and taking yourself into the next level, think about what you could achieve instead of wasting that energy keeping up with the Joneses. Like,
yeah, I agree. And I also think that, everybody is in different chapters of their life. So you're maybe comparing yourself to somebody's chapter, 20 when you're just starting out.
that's the hard thing about social media is that we have so much access to everybody's lives that we used to not. We did not have that instant access to everybody's life the way we did. So it's so quick for us to just look at someone. Let's say someone just popped on my page out of the blue. And they're like, how does this girl have 1 million followers? I post beauty videos too. She has 1 million.
Yeah, but you don't know how long this person has been in the game. Like what?
Like I said, you don't know that I've been doing this since I was 13. It can be
Right.
quick to be like, how come she's getting that sponsorship
Yeah.
and I'm not? And even I feel like I kind of would do that too. I'm like, how is that person getting that opportunity and not me? And I would constantly compare myself when in reality, it's like I did not have the same background of as this person. Maybe this brand was looking for something specific that I was not. Maybe they wanted a certain type of creator. Maybe that person has a special relationship with that brand.
Yeah.
There's so many variables. And like you said, you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 22.
Yeah.
One quote that I actually really love is that you can't compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel.
Yeah.
Which is so important because we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Again, it's super cliche, but it's so true. You don't know that person's deepest fears and their regrets and God knows what else. You don't know all that stuff.
And you really don't know what a person is going through based off of a picture.
That's what I hate.
I mean, I've been out with like a friend that's giving me her, background on what she's going through, literally tears in her eyes.
Right.
And we take pictures of our day,
Same.
smiling and stuff, and we post it. And
Literally me. That's me.
And then, like somebody exterior seeing these pictures would think that this girl has no problems in her life and her life is peaches and roses. But it's, there's a reality to it. And everybody's posting their best everything online.
Right. Like you could see a girl just got proposed to, for example, but you don't know how many toxic failed relationships she was in before she got this great man that's putting a ring on her finger.
Yeah.
You could see someone just got like an amazing job, but you don't see all of their failed maybe they've been job hunting for
years. Maybe they were jobless for so long.
Yeah,
and,
they finally got a good job.
You just never know the reality of a situation based off of pictures online. And I feel like especially with social media, everybody's life looks perfect.
Yeah.
Quotation marks. And I feel like, people go online and see that and compare their lives and, start becoming very negative with themselves and think, why is my life not like that? Why don't I look like that? Why don't I have these opportunities? Where it's like, you don't know the reality of the situation. You really don't, based off of a photo. And I don't know, it just really breaks my heart, especially, looks wise too. I know a lot of girls get on themselves. I have this friend like back from Ohio, and she's like, it's like very, very challenging when, your man looks at IG all day and compares you to them. And it's like, you almost don't feel good enough. And it really broke my heart because I'm like, girl, like you don't know how much makeup, what editing, what angles, what lighting, you don't know what went into this picture. And it's like, and people need to realize that Instagram is glam. That's not reality. That's not what people look like day to day. That's hours of makeup, hair, studio lighting. Like right now we're under studio lighting. It's just, just don't compare yourself.
It's for, I think a lot of people who don't take Instagram pictures, I don't think they realize that this stuff is like curated.
Yes.
Even I used to think back when more like fashion pictures were more popular, I'm like, how is this girl wearing this outfit, first of all, out all day? Like it looks super uncomfortable, but it looks great. But I'm like, how's she wearing it all day? And it matches the restaurant she decided to go to perfectly and all of that. And I'm like, now I realize like these girls have mood boards and they've had this outfit planned for this restaurant that she was going to go to. Like they literally pack a bag.
Yes.
Like she's not even wearing that outfit all day. Like she packs a bag with that outfit.
Guys, that's what a lot of people do, that if this is their job, they treat it as a job. So they will pack a bag full of outfits, shoes,
drive to locations,
take the picture and leave. Like if you see a girl at a restaurant, you're like, oh, she's having so much fun. She's eating a meal. You know, it was probably the greatest day of her life where, you know, she just went there, put on a certain outfit, took a photo, barely, her meal was probably cold because she was worried about getting the right angle and leaving. Like you don't know the reality. That's why, you know, it's not good for your mental.
That's why I kind of disagree with the whole like social media is toxic. I mean, I do agree with it, but at the same time, you can really make sure what's on your For You page is for you.
Yes.
You are in control. You can curate that for yourself. For example, our What My Sis Said Instagram is fairly new. And we've been liking a lot of sister content. Literally my entire Explore For You page is like memes about sisters.
Sisters, yes.
So to me, I'm like, if you know those things aren't good for you, why are you engaging with them?
Yeah.
It's like don't feel bad.
Unfollow.
Block. Like get used to using those buttons. Restrict, mute.
Like I mentioned this in a YouTube video that I made a couple weeks back, is that I really just wanted an IG page that is only curated to things that I want to see. Like I don't want anything random. I didn't want anything gossipy. I didn't want anything like that on the feed at all. And our accounts are very, very old, you know? So it's the Explore page is kind of all over the place. So I just started an IG account and I only followed and interacted things that I want to see. And now it's like my favorite to just go on there because it's almost like a mood board, you know? Like I follow exactly what I want to see. And I, you know, when you get a second and you want to get on your phone, I just go on that account and it almost kind of inspires me. You know what I mean? So that kind of helps. But I feel like also being in this side of things, I really look at social media. So for example, when you watch a movie, when you watch your favorite show, you know it's not real. You know it's make-believe. You know, these people, yes, they're actors and actresses, but it's kind of like it's curated. You know what I mean? So for me, I really look at social media for the most part like that. Like it's curated content. Like there's truth behind it. Yes, these people exist. Yes, it's family, but they're portraying what they want you to see. You know, a lot of times like things are happening that you don't know anything about. So you have to kind of learn to take everything with a grain of salt, you know?
Because you're going to drive yourself crazy and you're going to be miserable if you spend the rest of your life
comparing yourself to the internet.
Not even the internet. Like, I don't think Adriana Lima compares herself to Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jennifer Lawrence compares herself to, it's another celebrity. I can't even think of it right now.
Yeah.
To Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, they're all popping and successful in their own
way.
Realms in their own way.
And if you guys see what my sister just said, is there is not one size fits all.
Right.
There's not one form of success. There's not one form of beauty. There's not one right way. And that's the beauty of, you know, living your life to the best of you, because when you are the best version of you, you inspire other people. But when you're in this low vibrational state, just looking at other people and comparing yourself, you're really not going nowhere.
It just breaks my heart because I hate getting comments like that. That's my biggest thing. I hate getting comments, especially from moms, because comparing their lives to mine. Yeah. Like it really does break my heart, which is why, again, I mentioned this before, but that's why I'm so honest about my life. I'm like, I do have a lot of help. I have my parents. I have a hands-on husband.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't want a mom to watch my videos and be like, Naz has 3 small babies and she can like go out with her friends and get her hair done. I can't even fathom doing that. And it does come with hate. Like it does come with hate, but I'm like, I'd rather get the hate than for knowing a woman is like sitting there watching my video at home and she's like comparing herself to me. And it's like, why is Naz able to do these things and I'm not?
Yeah.
I'd rather take that heat and share that about my life, because people are like, just don't share it. You don't have to share that you have help.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I want people to know I do have that.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not Superwoman. I am not Superwoman.
I remember this was back in the day when social media first came about. One of my classmates, she was following an account of a girl. You know, we all follow accounts of girls that we find very pretty or we find inspiring. And this woman on Instagram was super, super fit. She was a dancer. And my friend kept comparing herself to her. And she's like, I wanna look like this. Like, I wanna have this shape. I wanna look exactly like this. My friend went to extremes. She started doing diet pills. She was working out like crazy. Like, you know, I believe we were in school at that time, like full-time in school. She had a job and she was comparing herself to a literal dancer. And I had to sit her down once because she was passing out from her extremeness. Yeah, it was just extreme, just dieting, cutting, working out. And I had to sit her down and was like, this girl is a dancer.
Yeah.
Her livelihood is dancing. This woman wakes up probably and dances from the minute she wakes up to the minute she goes to sleep. And that's why her body looks like this. It's such an unfair comparison that you, as somebody that has to devote her time to school, to work, to other things, are comparing yourself to a girl that her main focus is basically what she looks like and her dancing, you know?
It's honestly offensive to the dancer. Literally. Like even, it's like that person puts in so much work.
Yeah.
They put in so much work. Same with like for social media, for example. If someone was to compare to, let's say like me or you, it's like, this is our full-time job that we put years into. It's not like we just woke up one morning and we're like, we woke up and automatically all these followers just came knocking at on our doors.
Yeah.
Like, people don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see all the hard work, yet they expect the same results.
Yeah.
It's a very tough situation. Like,
and I feel that people need to realize that their life journey is specific to them.
right.
Like what's meant for you is meant for you, and what's meant for another person is meant for another person.
Right.
And you just have to know yourself and feel out what's right for you. And I feel that you should put away the social media for a little bit of time and figure out what's important to you, you know?
Right.
Like, do you actually like this look, or do you like it because
It's trending. And
yeah.
do you know what else I hate with comparison? Because this is something that people can't handle, is like parents comparing their children.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I can even do that without just being aware of it. It's just so natural. Like, Kai's the bigger cuddler and Kayvon is this. I mean, at the end of the day, like, kids are like computers. Honestly, the brain is like a computer.
Yes.
And if you keep inputting things into it.
Especially the first 7 years, you guys. That was so crazy for me to learn that the first 7 years of a kid's life is the blueprint literally to their life.
My God.
So
just add to the pressure of becoming a new parent.
I know, but just saying, like, I didn't know it was that important, you know?
I do think, again, that's something people can't handle, is like parents comparing each other. Our parents never really compared us, but they would compare us to other people.
Yeah.
And
especially in academics in school.
I know bro, like,
we were like this person's kid got
full
a scholarship or got 4.0s. I feel like a lot of Middle Eastern people can relate to that. Probably Asian culture too, African culture.
I mean, just comparison is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just now, luckily, the thing is, we're just so lucky in this day and age that we're learning so much about this stuff. So we don't have to carry on this like trauma to our kids.
Yes.
For the next generation. Because I'm sure our parents didn't think they were like affecting us. They were probably like, I'm trying to make them be better.
Yeah.
They think they're doing us a favor.
Yeah.
When in reality, I feel like I tend to do this too, but it's like, you can't expect the same out of every single child. That's one thing I hate about standardized testing in school. It's so unfair.
Yeah.
Because some kids, they're so good like creatively.
Yes.
They're so good at art. They're so good at free thinking. Some kids aren't good at that like standardized testing. So why are we grading kids off of this like one scale.
Yeah.
It's just comparison is everywhere. It's like screw social media. Comparison has been around forever. And it's just something that you as a person have to be stronger than that. Because if you're just gonna fall into this trap of constantly comparing yourself and dwelling on your negative thoughts, I think we underestimate how hard it is to rewire your brain. You really have to catch yourself and be like, oh my gosh, if I keep thinking this negatively, that's what I'm gonna attract in life.
I believe that too. Whatever you think about most will manifest into your life, whether it's good or bad. You can manifest bad. If you go through your whole life thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. You're going to get more of that. You have to literally change your mindset and change your thinking. However, you can.
We have to also acknowledge the fact that it's hard. Like I said,
it's the hardest thing in the world.
It's just naturally. It's just so natural. It's like second nature.
Yeah.
Even if I tweeted like, I love Wendy's chicken nuggets, someone's automatically going to comment, McDonald's is better.
Yeah.
Arby's is better.
Like nobody said McDonald's is not good. We're just saying I like Wendy.
It's human nature to just automatically jump to comparison. So that's why I'm saying it's like, it's like survival of the fittest. When you see successful people, 9 times out of 10, it's because they rose above that. They didn't dwell on their negative thoughts. They took chances. So many people, you guys, they're in spaces that they aren't even qualified to be in. The only difference between you and them is that they took the leap.
Yeah. And they have the confidence and they
have the confidence in the leap.
They don't mind failing. Like they don't care if somebody says, oh, that person is better than you. They're like, I don't really care. I'm still going to keep going.
Right.
That's what keeps you through. You could be the best like quote unquote, the best person, which that's a matter of opinion. If you think about it,
everything
there's really
is
no such thing as the best. It's just really a matter of opinion. But a person that has the best credentials, not believing in themselves, will probably not get as far as a person that doesn't even have as much credentials, that just believes in themselves and gets back up. Just get back up and keep going.
Honestly, if I had 2 people in front of me and one had the degree and stuff, they had the qualifications, but they lacked confidence, I would go with the person who had the confidence.
I know.
I would go with them.
Yeah. Because they're going to figure it out.
They're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love too. Honestly, this is the harsh reality. There's going to be people better than you in every aspect.
Everything.
There's going to be someone more attractive than you. There's going to be someone smarter than you. There's going to be someone there's always going to be someone who's quote unquote better than you. Again, it's subjective.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that? Are you going to sit and dwell about it?
At the same time, you're giving it power.
Right.
Like you focusing on it is you giving it power.
Right.
You have to take that power away and give it to yourself.
I always say this. I started YouTube with terrible acne. I still suffer from acne here and there. But I started YouTube looking like a straight up pizza face. And I know 90% of people who are listening to this and watching this would not have put their face on camera. They would not have put their bare face on camera. But what did I do? I took lemons and I made lemonade. You
made margaritas, girl.
I made margaritas, babe. That's what I'm saying. I could have sat here and been like, I'm going to wait until my skin is clear. Well, newsflash, my skin didn't clear up till I was 25. Yeah. And I made my first video at 13. I would have waited 12 years and not been doing all this.
Yes, you're right. But another thing I want to touch on is that sometimes it's not comparing to other people. I feel like sometimes it's perfectionism and comparing it to the best of yourself and not feeling that you're doing the best. And I feel that perfectionism is just as bad as comparison, because what perfectionism really is comparing it to being perfect. And that's a battle you will always lose, because there's no such thing as perfection.
I'm going to say here, I don't like perfect. I don't. Even I've noticed that when I was younger, I love the LA glass, cookie cutter glass box home. I think that's so ugly now. I swear, I see the homes now that have character and their own rusty, unique touch. Yeah, I almost like that more. Because let me tell you, these new homes are built like crap. I want the old home that's standing strong 70 years later, that has history. I honestly think they look better now. I don't like perfect. I don't think it's cute. I'm over perfection. If we would have waited for perfection, remember we filmed our first episode? We even got so many comments like, y'all, this quality is not it.
And we're like, we know.
We knew.
And we were going to reshoot it. I don't know if we touched on this on the second episode.
We did.
But we were going to reshoot. But we're like, it's not going to come out like this because the way that we talked, everything was just so natural. And trying to redo that, it would not have come out like that.
And not only that, but if we would have never filmed the first episode, we would have never known what to improve on. It's one of those things, even like when I can kind of compare it to, let's say you're like studying in your field. It's not going to be the same like a nurse. Like studying from a book is not going to be the same as being on the floor in the hospital.
Yeah.
You are going to learn way more than what you would have learned from a textbook.
Yeah.
Same from when we like started this podcast. Again, like we thought we had all the perfect equipment.
Yeah.
We thought we knew what we were doing. And we're people who have experience in filming videos and stuff. And our first video still turned out like shit.
Yeah.
With all the experience and
Okay, I wouldn't say that word, but.
I'm going to say it was shit.
Really?
I hated it. So anytime we got comments, I'm like, ugh.
No, I know. Okay, so the lighting wasn't the best. I agree. Oh, there was blurriness. There was a lot of things going on, but I feel like there was more positives than negatives. No?
No, I agree. But that's what we're saying, you know? And we're like posting on a page that has like 300,000 followers.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, y'all, just do it. Like, I don't know how.
See, learn from us. We were not afraid to fail. Like, we posted it knowing it's crap. Not the best.
And we got comments.
We could do better, but we're like, hey, we learned. And I'm sure you guys are watching this right now and say to yourselves, oh, it is a little bit better. Well, hopefully.
Right, like the cable was like hanging from my mic.
Cable, we got some flowers.
Like, life is an ongoing learning experience.
Yes.
Think about how boring life would be if we just stayed in one place.
Yeah.
There's always a new mountain to climb.
Yeah.
That's what makes life so exciting. And making experiences on the way, meeting new people.
And I feel that what makes life beautiful is our differences.
Yeah.
That we're not minions, that are not everybody is the same with the same wants, the same needs, the same look, the same life, the same.
How boring.
Imagine there's movies like that.
Yeah. I'm thinking of
what
one.
movie? Was it Stepford Wives was one? It was like really weird. Yeah, it was like a cookie cutter type of life where like all homes and all relationships were the same. Imagine that life.
Boring.
Like that's the beauty of our lives is that every one of us can shine brightly on our own. We don't have to compare ourselves. And I'm telling you, we live in the best time right now where everyone is celebrated and new opportunities are flying left and right.
You can literally create your own lane. If it doesn't exist, create it.
You can. If you believe in yourself and you become the highest version of yourself, you can create that. Instead of spending time comparing yourself to other people, looking at another person's life, create your own, you know? That's literally, I said this in my video before, one of my YouTube videos that I made. Your life is your garden, right? Imagine being a gardener, sitting down in your garden and just looking at the flowers of another garden, not watering your own grass, not planting your own flowers, not doing anything. And you're just kind of sitting there in your garden, watching all these other gardens
flowers grow,
bloom and blossom. And you're just like, well, why is mine not like that? Well, why don't you go get up and water your grass?
You know what else with that garden analogy? It's like different flowers blossom in different seasons.
Yes.
So again, like we said, like life is in seasons. Every situation, like it will come to an end eventually. I think that's the hardest part about life is like when you're in a current situation, like you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
There is a light.
Yeah.
You just have to keep pushing through. Like think about, there's so many stories that showed like all of these top billionaires where they came from. Wasn't it like Jeff Bezos was the picture of him like starting Amazon in like this little office?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many stories like that. Like Oprah got denied. Y'all, I didn't even get the job at Mac.
Oh, yeah, you did apply to Mac.
I didn't even get my job at Mac.
Yes, like, I forgot about that.
I'm not saying I'm the most successful person on the earth, but
No, but for Ohio, your makeup skills was
thank you, sister.
Pretty good.
I mean, okay, so this is the story with Mac. I applied to them. I was still a senior in high school. I was 18 though. So I applied. I had no, what's it called? no experience. I had no retail experience. So they denied me from that. And I got a call from the manager separately. And she's like, I'm familiar with your YouTube, so you can come do the makeup portion. But at that point, I was just like over it. I think I just got like a little deeper into what I was doing with makeup. Part of me wishes I kind of would have worked at MAC for a little bit. But like right off of experience, I did not get the job.
Yeah.
But they called me back because they know my makeup experience. So that just goes to show, even if you're unqualified, you can still get in those doors. It's just a different way. There's different ways. And that's why I always say your network is your net worth. I'm the first person to preach networking and to never just assume you know a person. I can see that with a lot of people. They're like, they just kind of assume someone just... The thing is, I'm not nice to people over the fact that I feel like deep down, maybe there's somebody who can like help me with something. I never have that thought in the back of my mind. I'm really friendly. I'm friendly to everybody. But there's been so many times where I meet someone and they're like, oh, I'm actually this or I'm actually that. And I'm like, ooh, let's like get together and like work together. You know, like there's been so many opportunities like that for me. So that's why I think it's so important to like build relationships, get your foot in the door. Like I promise you, you being you is going to get you places way more than a piece of paper is going to get you.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like when I was applying for jobs, it really killed me when, you know, first you just send your resume and they don't really know you, your personality, anything. And anytime I went in for a job interview, I always got the job. Like, I don't think I've ever been denied a job, but that's because like I talked, I engaged, all of that. But, you know, I feel like first applying to jobs when it's just based off of a piece of paper and a resume, they don't know you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that does get a little bit. And also, even my first job that I got, you know, I told you guys in the first episode that it's really challenging getting your first job straight out of college because you don't really have college experience. So you are relying on connections. You are relying on people that, you know, you met.
Work experience?
No, like even like if your professor writes you a letter of recommendation or if you volunteered at different jobs while you were in college, they can suggest for you to work and put in a good word. So you're really relying on your network when you first graduate even, you know? So I do feel that meeting people is very important and having a good network is very important. I'm telling you, your self-concept is what gets you anywhere in life. Like what you believe about yourself, that is what's going to come true. People that are super confident usually get so much farther than people that have all of the credentials but are just not confident in themselves.
I think we can all think of people who like aren't, let's say, like conventionally attractive or whatever the case, but they're still so freaking cool.
Yeah.
They're so like in your eyes, like they're the coolest fucking person. And it's like, what makes them that?
Yeah.
It's again, their demeanor, their aura. Like either you got it or you don't.
I will say, like I attended Miami Swim Week a couple times, and the people that I loved on the runway, there were girls of all different shapes and sizes, but the ones that I enjoyed watching were the ones that had confidence, that walked out on stage and just knew who they were.
Right.
Because there were girls that were conventionally model looking and they walked very like timid. Like you could tell that they, you know, they were like maybe scared or not comfortable. And it's just people that, you know, the models that walked out there that maybe weren't the tallest, maybe weren't the, you know, the most fit out of the whole bunch. But the way that they walked and the way that they carried on the runway, it just was like, whoa, who is that? So I'm telling you, it's all about your confidence. And it's all about your self-concept and not comparing yourself. Because imagine if a girl that didn't have, you know, the model. I love Miami Swim Week, by the way, because it's more like inclusive now. Before it used to be like 5'8" or taller, just like your you know, standard model size. But now it's like a lot more inclusive. And imagine a girl that maybe isn't as tall, you know, she's a little bit shorter and she looks at a girl that's 5'11", and she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna get on the runway and I'm not that tall and I'm not this and I'm not that. That would just take away from yourself. Why are you comparing? Walk out on the runway like you are the greatest model on earth and you will fly with, colors. Yeah. So it's just about not comparing yourself, because that only puts you in a low vibrational state.
Imagine Ashley Graham being like, well, I'm not a size 2, so I shouldn't model.
Yeah.
She's like one of the most world-renowned models now. Yeah. There's so many things that will get in your way. Like, I love the story that you tell me about who's the actor from 365?
Oh my God.
The love of Yasmin's life.
Michael Marone. I don't know how you say his name. Michael Marone or something.
The one who plays, what is his name? Massimo
from 365.
So apparently he wasn't even an actor.
Yeah.
He was a gardener.
Yeah.
And what was it? The casting director or whatever was like, I want you to be the lead.
Yeah.
And he had no acting experience.
Yeah. And he was saying, he's like, I thought I would have to try out or like audition. And he's like, no, I want you. Like, you have the part. And he's like,
imagine if he was like, well, I have no acting experience. I'm just a gardener.
Yeah.
Now he's every woman's man crush. Like, we could literally sit here and name examples this entire episode. Mm-hmm. But if y'all want to do something, like, there's literally nothing standing in your way.
The only thing that's standing in your way is your mindset.
That's what I'm saying.
That is the only thing standing in your way. Like, it's not reality. And, people want to say that like life should be fair and this person, like, why does this person get these opportunities? Why does this happen? Like, think about a song and winning awards. There could be a musician that pours their heart and their soul and uses all these instruments and they will not win one award. Whereas this one kid, 16 years old, gets on a mic and goes yabba dabba doo on a song and it goes viral. Yeah. And now he's getting awards. Like, literally comparison is just, it's fruitless. It's just an opinion. There's no such thing as the best, really. It's all opinion. So for you to compare yourself, you're just hindering your own potential. You're just putting yourself in a negative space and not accomplishing anything because of your lack of self-concept, really.
Yeah. And I want to acknowledge our privilege, for sure. I want to acknowledge that. But again, I do think sometimes you need to sit and be a little honest with yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Even for me, I need to be honest with myself. Like, for example, like with weight loss after pregnancy, like I would get upset and be like, well, I'm not losing weight. And I finally like had to look at myself and I'm like, well, what exactly are you doing to lose weight? Like, my habits are the same. And I'm sitting here like, well, I'm not losing weight and this person is. It's like, you have to be honest with yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That goes hand in hand with being the best version of yourself.
Right.
I feel that being the best version of yourself is you comparing yourself to the highest version of yourself rather than somebody else. Right. Like, sometimes when you would say, oh, Yas, like, how did you do this? I told you, Naz, I worked out consistently. I ate this way. I slept 8 hours a night. You know what I'm saying? So it's comparing yourself to another person is not, it's not like right. You have to think of the best version of yourself and compare yourself to that every day. Right. Be like, what would the best version of myself, what would she do? What would she look like? What are her habits? And compare yourself to that, not what some other girl on Instagram that you saw a cute picture of and you really don't know her reality. Right. You know?
Like, y'all, these pictures can be Photoshopped for all you know. It is so easy to Photoshop. You don't need like a special software and all that stuff. It is so easy to tweak a picture.
Right.
It is so easy to just like, again, I could show you guys my house right now and you guys can see the chaos, or I could wait until I clean it up and housekeepers come and then post a picture of my house. And then y'all are going to be like, how does Naz keep her house so clean with 3 kids?
Yeah.
Like, you guys got to stop looking at one photo and thinking you know the whole story.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what happens with social media, because we are on social media so much. So people think that they have, an idea of a person's whole entire life, where it's like, for example, a YouTube video is 30 minutes. Like, it's 30 minutes of this person's, few days or day or even a week. You know, a picture is literally a few seconds of a person. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not even the full story. Like nobody knows nobody's full story.
Yeah, I think like you said, the best thing to do is the only person you should compare yourself is to your potential. That should be your only competition.
Yes.
Your biggest competition needs to be your potential.
Yeah.
And again, you have to curate it to the life that you live.
Yeah.
You can't just, like, again, I used this example previously. Like, I'm not going to compare myself to Bella Hadid because I am not Bella Hadid.
Yeah.
I'm not walking a Moschino runway next week. Is I say the brand Moschino? I don't know. Versace. Like, I'm not on a runway every week. I don't need to have a 20-inch waist.
Yeah.
I'm a mom of 3.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to look like that. Why would I dwell over looking like that? That I don't have this tiny waist and all that? Like, why would I dwell when I can work with what I got? Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm getting better at, like dressing for my body type and learning what flatters me. Again, you're allowed to wear whatever you want, but it's like that makes me feel more confident when I wear the pieces that like flatter me and make me feel good.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was like, I would compare myself. I would look at fashion inspo from girls who don't look like me at all.
Yeah.
Like I have big boobs, I have big butt. Why am I getting fashion inspo from a girl who doesn't have those things?
Yeah.
And then wonder why the outfit didn't look good on me.
Yeah.
It's like you have to, again, you are in control. You can curate this life. Like back when you were growing up and you didn't have social media, it really sucked for you because you just saw what was in the magazines.
Yes.
And it's like Paris Hilton, that was like the look. And if you weren't that look, then sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Now it's like you can literally go on Pinterest and say size 14 fashion.
Yeah.
Size 22 fashion. Size 00 fashion. There's so much inspiration at our fingertips. There's so many resources at our fingertips. And we can literally create a real life Pinterest board. You really can.
Yeah. I feel like also when you're thinking about who you want to be, make sure you're staying true to yourself, not just the trends, you know? Like for me, I think trends are fun actually. Right. Sometimes when I see something, I'm like, oh, that's fun. Let me try it. But a lot of times, if it doesn't fit me, I just don't do it.
Right.
Like remember back a few years ago, the eyebrows, like we did the 2016, eyebrows. That was really in. I tried it. I'm like, this is not flattering my face. It doesn't look good. So it just didn't fit me and I didn't do it anymore. So I feel like you have to also stay true to yourself and not always follow what is hot at the moment.
I mean, look at nature. Like think about how beautiful like a lion is, and then think about how beautiful a zebra is. You think the zebra is crying that he's not a lion, and the lion is crying that he's not a zebra?
Yeah.
It's just, again, there's so much beauty in the world, and there's so many things to celebrate that it's like the choice is yours. It really is. Like at the end of the day, like you have the choice of happiness. You can either be miserable and constantly compare yourself in places that you don't even need to be comparing yourself in.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, you can do some soul searching, find out what you really want to do and hone in on that and pour your energy into that.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of people don't realize like how powerful human beings are. We are so, so powerful.
And I feel like a lot of times people that compare themselves don't want to put the effort into themselves. It's a lot easier to sit back, not do anything, and just look at another person's life and just be in a low vibrational state instead of getting up, putting actionable steps towards who you want to be, what you want to be, what you want to accomplish. Because that's hard.
It's hard.
Let's not take
That's
away from it. It is hard.
Choice.
It is hard becoming the best version of yourself. It is hard to stay disciplined. It is not easy. The people that you see at the top are people that are making sacrifices, that are putting in the time in. And I feel that a lot of people that just want to compare themselves and be very negative, be real and ask yourself, have I been putting the time in? Have I put in the effort? Have I got up today? You know, like this person that you're looking at, that you're comparing yourself, this person probably woke up in the morning, got their stuff going, like stayed disciplined, stayed motivated, and you want to wake up hours later.
Yeah, that was my problem.
Yeah.
I try to start my day at 10 a.m. It's like, girl, the day is halfway done.
Yeah.
There's a reason why like CEOs and stuff, they're up at like 5 a.m.
Yes. It's hard to say that because some people honestly work better at night.
They do. It's just hard because if you're working with a team and other people,
Yes.
it's like they've already been up for the day. The brands are up for the day.
Listen, for
like,
me, it's not waking up in the morning, waking up at night, which I do believe for certain things you want to accomplish, waking up earlier is better. But be realistic. Be like, am I really putting the time in? Regardless of when this time is.
Yeah.
Am I putting the time in? Am I staying disciplined? Am I making the sacrifices I need to sacrifice in order to be this person?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's the harder of the two.
It's really hard.
You know, I just thought of, I remember a long time ago, like Jordan Woods made a post. Remember she had like a fitness app or a fitness clothing line. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she like went through a big weight loss too. And I remember she posted like a workout routine video and somebody commented like, must be nice to be rich and have trainers and this, that, and the third. And I'll never forget, she commented back because like, you know, it's like at the top. And she said back, don't worry, I used to make excuses too. And I was like, ooh, that was a good one. That was
actually really good. But here's another comparison that is not even fair. Jordan Woods has to be on camera all day, every day. That's her job.
Poor girl was ripped apart next to Kylie for years.
Whereas somebody that doesn't need to be on camera doesn't have the same pressure.
Right.
Doesn't have so many eyes looking at them. That's not even a fair comparison.
Right.
Like Jordan Woods, like for example, we're just using her because she came up right now. That is her income. That is a certain level of pressure of being into shape. Always when people are trying to reach a goal or making a change in their life, I always ask them their why.
Yeah.
How powerful is your why? Because that is what's going to get you through. If you're just trying to lose weight, I kind of want to lose like 5 pounds, kind of, but I don't know. You're probably,
those people never,
yeah.
Me, that's why they never lose
if
it.
your why is I am walking a runway in 2 weeks and I'm going to have thousands of eyes looking at me and camera looking at me and that your why is a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
You're going to get up a little bit quicker in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I always, when people are making changes in their life or trying to reach a goal, it's what is your why? And a lot of times I find that to happen when people have kids because their why becomes stronger now. You know, it's not just them that they're worried about. It's like kids
other people.
too.
I used to procrastinate so much until I had kids. It could have also been just like an age thing. It's always so hard for me to decipher if it's like me becoming a mom or me just getting older. But I used to procrastinate a lot more. And then after becoming a parent, I learned like I have a lot less hours in the day.
Yeah.
I have a lot less hours in the day. Like from 6, I used to work, remember, until like midnight. But it's like now it's like from like 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. Like those are bedtime hours, like dinner, bath, bedtime.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't have that luxury anymore. You know, one of my friends actually told me, she's like, it's weird. Like when I tell my friends who have a lot on their plate to do something, they get it done a lot quicker than my friends who have a lot less on their plate.
Yeah, I do agree with that because you don't have the luxury of procrastinating anymor. And I see that in you because you used to be more of a night worker. Like you loved, like I'm a morning person. Like I've always been a morning person. And Naz was always the night person. She's like, I just love filming at night. I love editing at night. You would hear Naz at 4 in the morning at night.
I love it.
I thought you liked it more. You didn't like mornings.
But that was because I used to have the luxury of sleeping in. Like I was sleeping until like 11, noon. I would sleep in until noon. Yeah. But it's like now that I have to be up at like at least 8 the latest, I can't. Like I can't edit at like 3 in the morning. I will. That's one thing about me, y'all. Like I can sit my butt down and get something done.
Yeah.
Like don't come hell or high water. If I have a deadline, I'll get it done. But yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer. Now, Yasmin actually taught me a lot about the circadian rhythm. Circadian. And my aura ring also. Yeah. Like it actually tells me like this is the time you should be going to sleep. Because I learned it's like not all sleep is equal.
No, it's not.
You could get 8 hours at this part of the night versus another part of the night. And it's going to be a different result for both. That's crazy. Another thing for us women,
I know.
Us humans have to worry about.
Well, technically we should be going to bed. Like we should be deep sleep by 10 according to that rhythm. But it's so hard in life today. But that's
so, for example, my aura ring, it tells me because it like tracks my sleep.
Yeah.
So I typically wake up at around 8 a.m. That's like my wake up time. And my bedtime is usually like I would say like 11 to 12. I like it to be like 11, but it said that the midpoint of my sleep needs to fall between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. So if any of you guys have the same sleep schedule as me, you wake up at 8 a.m., it said that my midpoint, the halfway point of my night's rest needs to be between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. I feel that as parents also, when the kids go to bed, that's kind of like your me time, you know? And then it's like, do I want to use my me time to go to sleep, or do I?
That's every mom's biggest problem in life, I swear.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to stay up and like watch a movie and spend time with my husband. And then boom,
Yeah.
it's you close your eyes and it's 7:30 and the kids
Yeah.
are up and it's time to start the day.
Yeah.
But they're worth it.
They're so worth
cute.
it. They're so worth it.
I love those babies.
Guys, literally, kids are the biggest blessing. Like any sacrifice is worth these beautiful children.
I know. It's just, again, I'm thankful for them because I don't like the fact that I used to be going to sleep at like 4 a.m. and waking up at noon. Like, what kind of life is that?
I do that even without kids. Like, I don't stay up.
Well, you're different than me. I was like, again, I just think about how much I could have achieved more if I was just more on it. But again, I was young.
Yeah, you were.
And it's like, I think I still did a pretty good job for what I did. But it's like now the stakes are higher. I'm trying to put my hand in so many different, what is it, bowls? Like, what's that analogy?
Yeah.
Eggs in so many baskets.
Yeah.
Like now it's not just, it used to be like I just worried about YouTube and Instagram. That was my biggest priority in life. Now it's like we have the podcast. I'm working on my own project on the side. We have like this, we have that. Like there's so much more.
No, you've come far, because even us going to work out at like 6 a.m. or our 8 a.m. class where we have to be there at 8 a.m. Like that's, if you told like 14-year-old Naz that, she would be like, I would be deep sleep at that time. What are you talking about?
I used to have no structure. You naturally, maybe because you went to college, you just like had more structure.
I've always been a morning person. Like I've never had a problem waking up early. I do notice that I do prioritize sleep now a lot more. I freak out if I don't get like 7 hours of sleep a night. It's not
talk about sleep. It's making me yawn.
Yeah. But I do prioritize my sleep a lot more now because I feel that I'm a lot better during the day.
Same.
I function better, you know?
Sister, just wait until you get mom brain. It's like a literal scientific thing.
I have Dory brain right now, and it's
guys,
gonna be with mom brain. I'll forget your name.
Yasmin, I love her, but she definitely has short-term memory loss. Like,
no, I forget. Like, I'm good. I was like this in school too. I'm really good at memorizing information, like long-term stuff, but something like simple, like if you told me, oh, I had pizza yesterday, and you ask me the next day, what did I have yesterday? I'll probably forget. Like little, I guess it's short-term memory, right? I'm better at long-term memory.
Yeah. But on that note, I think we're going to wrap up today's episode.
Yes.
So again, guys, stop comparing yourself.
Just don't.
Stop making yourself miserable.
Yeah.
Like, for what?
Listen, if Naz and I compared ourselves to anyone, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't do anything,
That's
honestly.
what I'm saying. Like, imagine we just were in the secret competition together and we like never joined forces and made Kavari vlogs and now what my sis said. Like, for what? For what? Like sometimes, again, we need to start taking responsibility.
Yeah.
That's all 2024. We're in alignment and we're seeking and we're responsible for our own thoughts, our own actions, and we are putting our power in our own hands.
Yeah. You guys,
your life
one
is
thing
yours.
I stress is tunnel vision. Like literally just sit with yourself, think of what is the best version of me, and every day work towards that. Every day compare yourself to that. Don't and blur out anything really else.
We need like a little coffee or espresso.
Yeah.
I'm like yawning
all that
so much.
sleep talk.
I know. I could literally close my eyes right now and like go to sleep.
Should we do a little sleep podcast?
Everybody, let's go to
sleep.
sleep.
Guys, do you guys want to do that? One of our podcasts could be like a little lullaby. We could put on a lullaby and just sleep.
You haven't seen people on TikTok live doing that?
Yeah, they do that.
Like you just sleep with, like they just sleep. You watch
Guys,
them sleep.
if you want a sleep podcast where we could all take a nap together, you let us know.
Hold on, I just had a really childish thought.
What? What?
It's so childish. Like the people who do that, they just go on live for 8 hours and sleep.
Yeah.
Like, what if you fart in your sleep?
They do. They do.
I would literally, that would be.
No, I've seen
I would
TikTok
delete.
they do. No,
Oh, God.
I've seen a TikTok live and this made me so scared. I was scrolling at night one night. He couldn't go to sleep. And this person was sleeping on live and they put like a doll, like one of those scary dolls behind them.
Why?
Like as like a scary, like you know how you would watch a scary movie?
Yeah.
Some people love that. And
Y'all, the internet is crazy.
So much.
Insanity.
We'll even wear cute PJs.
Yeah.
Let's
We should do a slumber party episode.
Yeah, we'll have pop, and then we're
Face
gonna all
masks.
take a nap because all of us need a little rest in our lives.
I'm going to literally go make what my sis said, sleeping masks. Guys, on that note, like we need merch.
Yes,
Like what should we do for our merch? We have
Yes.
so many ideas.
we want to do Pilates socks.
That'd be cute. Pilates socks, sweatsuits, obviously.
Yes.
Let us know. What do you guys want? Phone cases? Are people still
Yeah.
into that?
Do you guys like? Is
Are
phone
people
cases
still a thing?
I don't know. Let us know. Mine is just clear.
Mugs, tumblers,
Ooh, coffee cups.
water bottles. Let us know. But yeah, we love you guys. See you next episode.
Bye, loves.
Mwah.